Sound speed.
Let me know when you're ready to go.
Oh, I gotta do. Yeah, I gotta. I don't know if you know what the clap is for, but you like sync the clap with the. Yeah, sound speed. Yeah, there we go.
So you're syncing the video, like you're recording the Zoom, right?
Yeah, I'm record. Ironically, like this is the hard part. That's to explain. I record the video. I record obviously the video through Zoom, and the audio through a Zoom recorder, which no relation between the two. It's like a multi-channel recorder. Like I'm able to adjust each other's levels, and God forbid, like there's some pops on any of our ends, I could cut those out. I'm able to bleep out swear words much more easily, which that's yeah.
All
So
right, let's
yeah,
do this.
yeah, let's do this. That's how are you doing? Oh man.
Are we recording?
Yeah. Oh, we bitter. That's what the sound speeding is for.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh,
well,
man.
Ian Rousso, let me tell you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it late night vibes. Man, I've been really good. While you and I do comedy rhetoric, we're producers of the comedy rhetoric shows. I'm picking it back up starting this Saturday at 7 p.m. This one's gonna be free. I'm really hoping I have at least 20 audience members because it's gonna rain tomorrow, and it's gonna be. Am I talking too loud, or is this?
No, you're good.
And I hope, and I just hope like, like 20 people bring blankets and stay warm and able to like enjoy the show. And usually me and my friend Ryan, who's hosting my show, he's my host for Eagle Rock.
Kelly?
Huh?
Ryan Kelly?
No, Ryan Houghton.
Okay, gotcha.
No. And he, what was I gonna say? Yeah, he usually brings like White Claw and Truly and like just seltzers, and we just like share with everybody. I'm like, hey guys, like here's some free drinks, like enjoy yourself, enjoy the show. It's a good way. I mean, what I like. You've been to. I mean, I
did one of your shows. Yes,
and you had a great set. And I'm mad because I was like, damn, I missed that set. But I was getting text messages like, oh, Ian Rousso is killing it. Like,
dude, something that I love about doing this podcast is that I think people say like things like that with the most honest intent, but people who haven't seen me in years probably they don't watch this. But let's pretend that they do. They're probably thinking, "Oh wow, Ian just like he associates people who blow smoke up his ass."
Oh, stop, Ian. That's not how you look at it, buddy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate no that. No, but, like who did I have? What were you saying about what were you saying about comedy
rhetoric? Have some freaking confidence in yourself. God damn, I'm giving you.
I need that. I haven't had a good week as far as like the confidence thing goes.
It's okay, man. Have you been losing weight?
I feel like I'm fluctuating.
Sorry, that's a bad question. The question is, have you been working out?
I've been walking more, if that's what you mean.
No, I want like a workout. Like I want freaking like I'm running. My heart rate's up.
Yeah, dude,
you're burning fat and calories. You know,
you're on top of that.
I'm very much so on top of it. I swear to God, dude. Like people always ask me, "Hey, Ahmed, how are you always so energetic and in a good mood?" Dude, I'm telling you, I work out first thing in the morning. Man, I feel like a king. And I've been doing this since I was 18, 19 years old. That's what I do. I love working out. Fitness is a big part of my life.
I have a question about that. Like before you started working out, so before you turned 18, 19, did you feel there was like a dramatic shift in your mental health towards the better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's even something I try to do. I try to avoid looking at my phone for at least a half hour after I wake up, but almost 9 times out of 10 unsuccessfully.
Yeah, I grew up in a very like conservative Arab household, not extremely conservative, it's kind of conservative, but like I was like I was just like, I grew up like, just all I wanted was to make my parents happy.
Okay.
And so I had like, I was always a yes man, and I had no confidence in myself. So when I started, and I still remember, I was a very skinny, frail kid, and I remember the basketball team. They were working out, and I was like 16 years old, and they were all doing push-ups. And I was like, they were like, hey, I was like, oh, can I work out with y'all? And then he was like, yeah, sure. And when it came down to push-ups, like I had such a hard time doing push-ups, and I had such a hard time doing like sit-ups and jumping jacks and running and all that stuff. And then it was brother Dawood, Amu Dawood, who was like the coach of the basketball team. He just looks at me and he goes, Ahmed, you're out of shape. Get in shape.
And that
And
was
I was like, yeah, I need to. So like when I was like, I want to say 16, 17, yeah, that summer from my sophomore to junior year of high school, every morning that summer, I ran a mile, exactly a mile.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I just started working out, and then I just start feeling better. Like you start, and then all of a sudden I start getting these titties, look at these man boobs. And you're just like, oh, and people go, hey man, I like your chest. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Oh God. I don't know if you saw the video of me playing airbase to Shaggy.
Oh yeah, and then everything was bouncing around. Yeah.
You could see, like, yeah, it couldn't hurt for me to drop a couple of LBs, whatever.
For the way I see it, man, about fitness, Ian, is like, there's the part of like looking good, obviously.
Yeah.
But also it's just when you work out, you just feel good.
Yeah.
And when you look good, you feel good, you play good.
Dude, you are a confident guy. I remember a bunch of people were running a mic in North Hollywood Park, and you were just randomly on a jog, and you were shirtless, and I don't have that confidence. I don't post shirtless photos. That was my promise, actually my promise to myself when I started a social media account. And I'm a lot younger than you. I was in ninth grade. Sorry. I was in ninth grade when I started a Facebook. Okay.
It's so funny. This is my social media. I first got a MySpace, but that's when everyone already have moved to Facebook. So it was like me getting a MySpace. It was like going into a party at 3 a.m. It's like, hey, what's up?
Hey, who wants to party?
So then like I moved over to Facebook, and then I remember like when I got like social media, I go, okay, I'm never gonna post a shirtless photo. And I don't know why I gave myself this rule, but I still remember it. And I'm never gonna post a photo of me doing this.
Okay, that's definitely No, that's definitely two ends of a different coin.
Well, yeah, and also I think I'm trying to like look like, how when you try to think back to your childhood, like put your adult brain into your childhood brain or body or whatever. I was like, why did I promise myself not to post a picture with this? And I go, oh, because back in 2008, 2009, everyone was posting pictures like this. That was like the main thing, this stuff.
Okay. So it's like
posting... I just didn't want to be the same guy.
Yeah.
That everyone else is doing. So
it's like posting like a skydiving photo on a dating app.
Exactly. Or a fishing if you're from Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
But so I'd say the only like shirtless photo I have of me is like one at the beach, but that doesn't count. But other than that,
yeah, it would be weird if you wore a shirt at the beach at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still remember that. Yeah, that was when I used to live around that neighborhood. So I would, and during June and in the summer, June and July, when it would get really, really hot, I would run shirtless. And
okay,
yeah, I just randomly saw you guys doing a mic. That was funny.
Yeah, what
dude, isn't this crazy? Like you and I, like we were at Comedy Rhetoric now is one of the best shows.
Dude,
like,
I think it's
the best shows, and it's at a park. Like,
it's
so I was getting a message from my friend. I'll tell you after who it is. I don't want to say his name. But like I got a message from a friend, and then he's not in LA, he was out of LA, and he was like, He was like, dude, I heard, and he's a New York comic. He goes, hey, dude,
Okay.
I heard you're running a badass show. Congrats, man. Like, keep hustling and stuff. And then I was like, I mean, it's a part show, but it'll do. Like,
the thing that I
we're
think
trying, but it's just funny that people like now, like, comedy rhetoric is like that. It's the name. Like, that's.
It's the gold standard at the moment. Well, like all the clubs, have to abide like by much stricter regulations. Like, if the cash flow is much greater, like the state of California, they'd be after us too. But
Jesus Christ, man, I just hope LA gets it together. I know lots of people are leaving Los Angeles, but I just gotta say, Los Angeles is strong. It's a big city. My voice cracked. I'm just staying here and I'm riding this out, you know? And honestly, LA's my home now.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not going to just leave.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm from New York City, and something that I take pride in as far as New York and LA, I think the big common denominator between the two cities, it's that it's the most resilient people on earth who make these cities run.
I agree.
And I do think after this, it could be a while. I still think our darkest days through the pandemic are a little bit ahead of us. But for now, but after that, who knows? I also see there's going to be opportunity on the horizon. I was talking, I think I talked to us about a couple of comics on this, but the fact that both Joe Rogan and Kill Tony, like both moved to Austin for the foreseeable future, that's going to alleviate a huge bottleneck once the store reopens for development.
Oh, yeah. I think more, they might bring back an open mic, like a legit open mic at the store on Mondays, maybe.
Yeah.
There are some people who believe, there are just so many theories of what's going to happen to the store. Granted, lots of like the top people like all left the different cities. But think about it. That means more people move up and grow.
Yeah.
And you're still going to have Sebastian Maniscalco, Fahim Anwar, who else? Andrew Santino, Bobby Lee, like a couple of like still big comics are still going to be at the store, right? And you're still Mark Maron.
Yeah, he'll never leave LA.
He's not going to leave LA. Like there's so many big names that are still going to be going to the store. Honestly, if anything, I'd say like the only people that are, I mean, which I hope they don't come, the broy UFC.
Yeah.
Like I watch UFC and now I'm like, I'm a funny guy.
Yeah, because that's my big.
And kick your ass, but I'm a funny guy.
My big concern with the idea, because I've talked about spending like a couple months in Austin, and who knows, I might before all this is said and done. But there
you
could
said
be
you wanted to go to Austin for a little bit. You called me actually.
Yes. Yeah, I thought about spending like 2 to 4 months out there, which I still might. But like the fact of the matter is, if I go there, I would be competing with more people to get seen by Rogan and all those people. Like the bottleneck is there now.
I don't think it's worth it to try. Like, don't go with that mindset, Ian. Because, and it's not you, I'm saying any comic. Like, don't go to Austin thinking, like you said, you want to go for 2 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Don't go to be like, oh, maybe they'll see me. No, don't think that. Think I'm going to go see some friends that I know from LA.
Yes.
I'm going to check out the scenes. I'm going to build relationships with the comedians at my level.
Okay.
That's how, like in the beginning, I want to say my first 6 months in LA, maybe first year in LA, that was my plan. I was like, oh, I'm going to make sure I'm going to keep hitting mics and be good. And then hopefully the big comics see me. No.
Okay.
Now the way I really see, like, I feel like I'm having a better way of what to do or what it is. I mean, no one will ever know. It's like the stock market, whatever, or astrology. But basically, what my look at it for any scene is I'm staying here. I've built my foundation, who I am as a person, as a comedian, right? And there's room to grow in LA. That's why I left Dallas. And the way I'm seeing it is, here are my homies, my friends. These are funny comedians that I like, that I hang out with. And this is my group. and we're all gonna rise together.
Okay.
That's the way I see it. I say we get on each other's podcasts. We're on each other's, like, we're the same class, we're the same level, and we all just help each other. I produce shows. I get my friends that I like or comedians that I think are funny. And if some comedian or person like thinks I'm funny, they put me on their shows. Or if they just need a brown person at this point, I don't give a anymore. Yeah, I'll be your brown diversity hire.
Or a Jew.
Or a Jew. Hey, there's
not enough of those on comedy shows.
Yeah, not enough Jews in comedy, right?
No, dude, something that I think is hilarious, though, about the success of comedy rhetoric is the fact I don't look at anybody involved as people as far as like that are that high up in whatever hierarchy there is in comedy, because all of that's been totaled for at least until the clubs reopen.
Yeah.
But like people like sort of know who we are now because of it, which is insane. Like it, yeah.
I'm getting blue checkmark comedians.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting like these bigger comedians that honestly I looked up to, and I would like see them. I'm like, oh, these are really funny comedians. I admire them. And they would come to our show, and then they would, after the show, come and like shake my hand, like, thank you so much for doing this. And like, thank you so much. And like here, like they like I'm in contact with them now. And it's not like hopefully they'll see me. It's more like, oh, they know I exist. And they know like they know that there are comedians at a lower level that are doing shit and they're trying to be, that are funny and hustling and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. They just know I exist. Yeah. So maybe one day they're like, hey, we need a Yemeni American comedian that sometimes wears glasses and works out. Oh, I know. And then he's like, Ali Sultan from Minnesota. Okay. I'm just kidding. Ali Sultan is a Yemeni comedian in Minnesota.
There's more than one. Wow.
There is he's more Yemeni than me. I'm so Americanized. No, he came to America when he was 15.
Okay.
I was born here like a true red, wine, blue citizen of my fucking right. USA, USA.
Yeah, no, but like something thanks to
you totally did not get.
Yeah, I did not get. Sometimes like when I'm editing these things, I'll watch like the playback, and I'll see that that I missed some joke, and I'll just be like, wow, did I disrupt the flow of this?
No, you did not. If anything, do you know what's wrong? You have a preloaded question. You're like waiting to say it.
Yeah. But that's a definition. If I have a question to ask, like that's me not being present.
Yeah,
and I think
exactly.
The key to being a good interviewer, particularly or a good podcaster, like it's someone like but like Larry King, he just who just passed away. He something he just said recently is like, I don't like these newer guys because they spend so much time talking, and when they are talking, they are not learning. Which I found to be very, very profound.
That makes sense. Yeah. Was he talking about Rogan?
I don't think he was talking about anybody in particular, but I do think Rogan, he does a good job listening.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think he does. Sometimes he rambles to fill up the time.
Yeah, like filling in that dead air.
Like the one interview I legit got mad at him for was he was interviewing David Blaine.
Okay, that's not the one I think.
David Blaine was like so passionate and just talking about magic and talking about the history of magic and certain tricks were invented by this certain person. And then Rogan just kept talking about freaking fighting and comedy or like psychedelics to him. And I'm like, dude, stop staring the camera. Just shut up and let him talk about magic for like this whole hour. Just say like a small question. Like, I don't know. He just kept rambling nonsense or chimpanzees or some shit.
Yo, Jamie, pull up that video of
what he was talking about.
Yeah. No, but I do think overall, like Rogan does set like a positive example for young podcasters who really. Even a guy like Marin, who I think he's gotten better about, like he doesn't make it about him, and he does steer the conversation in an organic way that people feel comfortable enough to talk to him.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. I'm actually just listening. Just before this, I was listening to Mark Maron's episode on Larry King Live or Larry King Now, his YouTube show.
Okay. I
Well,
didn't
I
see
think
it.
it's on. I think it's a YouTube show. I just watch it on YouTube. But he was talking about how, like, when he first started podcasting, he just did it because he was bitter
Yeah.
and he was in the industry. He was barely worked. His wife just left him, and he was just getting really annoyed and angry and bitter with the world. So then he started inviting celebrities that he knew,
Yeah.
and he was just talking about himself, but they ended up just giving him advice.
Yeah.
And what I think, what Larry King does have a point with the new. Maybe he's talking about the interviewers, because there's a difference between an interview and a podcaster.
Okay.
Because podcast is just it's this free form of like entertainment or just something like to just listen to. It's something different to listen to. I mean, heck, like for example, you and I, this podcast, or this episode,
Yeah, I have no questions prepared.
Yeah, we're just vibing. We're just
Yeah,
talking, and people want to know, like, oh, what are Ian Rousso and Ahmed talking about? Oh, they're talking about comedy rhetoric. Oh, well, I've heard about comedy rhetoric, and I kind of want to see the behind the scenes version. I know we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about the behind the scenes versions. Like, I have to get to my park or my stage like an hour early just so I could sweep up the steps.
Okay,
And
you sweep up the steps because I had to bother my co-producers for Pan Pacific to get a broom because there were like leaves and there was like just like somebody spilt salad dressing that was on the stage for like a month, and I was like, we got to do something about this. Yeah, they finally got a broom like 2 weeks ago, so that's been fun, just sweeping up the place. But yeah,
I want to get a blow dryer. You know what? Let's Google.
Yeah.
A blow dryer. Let me Google this.
Like a battery powered blow dryer.
I like this type of podcast.
Yeah.
Because I have a computer on me, so I'm not. Yeah. I don't have a blow dryer. It's giving me hair dryers.
Oh, what's the difference? Okay, so you mean like a blow dryer that isn't a leaf blower. That's more specific to what you're talking about. Okay.
Oh, they're cheaper than I thought.
Oh God.
You could buy one for $20 at Target.
That is way cheaper than what I would have guessed.
What?
$20. It has to be a one dog blow dryer.
I mean, it's a blow dryer. I just put leaf blower.
Leaf blower, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, because a blow dryer for your hair.
Oh, there's a Black and Decker.
So we just found a way to
cordless leaf blower.
Yeah.
Well, all leaf blowers should be cordless, right? Because this says corded.
That's true. Because like if you're taking care of your lawn, like I would imagine like you can't. Lawnmowers, for example, those are gas powered, like a gas powered leaf blower.
Oh well, this one on Amazon is $70. Yo, I honestly might just invest in a dope ass leaf blower.
That's not a terrible I swear the best investment that I've made so far was the electric generator for the gas generator for Comedy Rhetoric.
Yeah, I've invested in I invested in that big ass speaker that you saw. I have that speaker. I have the mic. I have a really good mic that comes with it. I need to fix the stand. The stand is like messing up a little bit, but I got to fix that. Lights.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what it is now. And honestly, like I'm just going to keep it. You never know. And the cool thing about comedy is I'll always like, before the pandemic, there were cool outdoor shows. So I could just keep producing a badass outdoor show.
Something that I look forward to doing, like me and Alex Kahn were talking about doing this, booking bar shows in other cities. And I have all this equipment And basically, me, him, and maybe 2 other LA comics and 2 locals from, I don't know, something like Quartzsite, Arizona, or Bombay Beach in Salton Sea. There's one bar out there, and they have to be starving for live entertainment.
Oh, that sounds good right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would like to go there. I want to check out. I need to do an Arizona trip. It's close. It's a easier drive from
Yeah.
LA to Arizona. Like I have so many LA friends that do shows in Arizona. And I have a couple TikTok followers that are from Arizona that have been messaging me like, hey, do shows, like come out to Arizona. So
Gotcha.
might as well.
Yeah, things are open out there.
I've been doing more TikTok stuff. We could talk about that.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, are you doing well on TikTok?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing fine.
Okay,
I'm
not.
as fine as a Yemeni American comedian trying to make it on TikTok. I'm doing fine. TikTok is very racist. I've been learning.
Okay.
Like it's the popular people on TikTok are beautiful white people.
Yeah, that's not in my case, but
Yeah, it's just really good looking white people. Like you'd have like these are like the best kind of like these are the best
Yeah.
kind of it's just little cute guys just doing this.
Yeah. Just
Like,
dancing to other people's music.
Yeah, just dancing to other. It's so weird. TikTok. I mean, like I said, I'm still fit. Oh, speaking of TikTok, I need a post right now. I have a video that I needed to post.
Yeah,
Hey guys, Ahmed Al-Kadri posting a TikTok on live on a pod. Oh,
on the Crescendo with Ian Ira Rousso.
yeah, and then it's just lip syncing.
Yeah,
stuff. It's so like
the video that I played the airbase to Shaggy to. I uploaded it to TikTok, and then they muted the audio because I didn't have the rights to it, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, everything else fine. You nope. But I do think they wanted me to pick the song through their system.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I don't know if there's some sort of some sort of loophole, because me and Josh Floorhog, we were talking about this, about how because TikTok songs are less than 30 seconds, they don't have to worry about royalties.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, but my video is also...
I don't know the mute. Like, I feel like what blows up TikTok is it separates the creator. Like, you have a creator that can create their own sound. So you have, like, independent artists now blowing up on TikTok. So you have musicians becoming famous from a TikTok song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, hold on. I'm not ignoring you. I need to do the caption.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know YouTube is coming out with YouTube Shorts to like knock TikTok out of the picture.
TikTok? Yeah, I saw that. They've been doing YouTube Shorts. I saw that they're like 30 seconds, 15 seconds because it's on your phone. Because I've been seeing that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start posting my reels on YouTube and just see how that works.
Okay, YouTube, I'm having a little bit of difficulty building up a base with, and something, because I do promote through Reddit. I put most of my clicks are through Facebook, believe it or not. Which even because I think Facebook is the most hindering of the platforms to build an audience with now.
I don't even touch Facebook anymore. I think I have a Facebook like now my Instagram is linked to my Facebook, so sometimes my pictures and videos will just switch it over to Facebook. Like it'll post on Facebook, like I'll turn that on. But I'm done doing that. I'm so done with Facebook. Like sorry.
Oh, good.
I gotta all right, now I'm done. So now I'll post a video and then it's just me eating a Kit Kat bar wrong.
Just eating a Kit Kat bar. I didn't know there was a wrong way to eat a Kit Kat. Wasn't that their whole... There's more than one way to... There's no wrong way to eat an Oreo. That's the one. I don't know who had that slogan. Break me off a piece of that. I'm trying to remember Kit Kat's slogan.
Well, because people usually eat Kit Kat, like they would take it out, take a piece, and eat it one by one.
Yeah.
And I remember doing it on my Instagram story of just eating a Kit Kat bar just fully.
Yeah.
Just to piss people off, and it pissed a lot. I was getting a lot of like response, like "You evil piece of shit, what's wrong with you, blah blah blah."
You monster.
Yeah, it's like, "You monster, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually have an Instagram video idea of just like posting Instagram. I go, "Hey Instagram, I realize I don't know what's wrong with the video or whatever, but it appears that I look on Instagram as an Arab man." False. I'm actually a white man. So if you guys can fix down your algorithm and give me the algorithm as a pretty white boy, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, do it.
I don't know. Whatever. I'll do it when I can. I'm just so. That's the thing about like. It's gonna sound so gay. Content creating, like.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm doing fine on TikTok. Like I'm now at 66,000. Which is good. They're transferring over to my Instagram. My Instagram audience is growing. Hopefully I'll hit 10K, and that way I could like really like post and like put links on my stories so I could like promote better shows and stuff.
Yeah, I
and
gotta
also
learn.
Like as stupid as it sounds, it's like when you have a following, I hate it. I hated it, but now I'm like part of the game. It's like people who have a following, it doesn't even matter how funny you are as a stand-up comedian, but if you have a following, yeah, sure, you could open for this comedian, or you could go do shows, or you could go like, if you sell tickets, you're fine.
There were something I'm never gonna forget was the collapse of Vine. When because like there was all these Vine celebrities. It was like back when I first moved to LA, like people with thousands and thousands of followers, and when Vine ceased operations, they all stopped doing comedy, and like it was wow. It was just like it just shined a light on who was in this for fame and who was in this through the love of the craft.
There was those people they never stay. Like people who. That's what I hate about stand-up. It's like stand-up is the most respected art form, but at the same time, the most disrespected art form ever.
It's devalued, yeah.
It takes a lot. I mean, this sounds like I don't know if non-comedians are listening to this, but it's like it takes a lot of work to do this, like to be a good stand-up, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm 4 years in now.
Okay.
And then the first 2 years, I was like the first year, I was like, this is fun. I'm great. This is good. And then the second, I'm like, I'm getting better. Third one, I'm like, oh, I'm the best. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna blow up soon.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like I hit 4 years, and I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about stand-up. I am ridiculously new at this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Jesus Christ, I suck. There's a hand right there.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where's that hand coming?
A hand? Wait, what?
Oh, there it is. It was it was my mouse.
Oh, gotcha. No, but I'm.
Did I mention? Hey, this up was brought to you by Plus. Plus Edibles is one of the greatest sativa edibles. Provides one of the greatest sativa edibles. This one is cucumber lime. Is 3.5 milligrams of THC and only 1.5 milligram of CBD. Delicious.
All right, people are plugging. It's Kat Alvarado the other day. She showed off her remarkable tablet, and it felt a lot like a commercial. I think I uploaded the clip as like a sneak peek like maybe yesterday.
The clips on Instagram is a good idea. Keep posting clips on Instagram. That's how I knew you had a podcast. And I was like, oh, look at him. Keep going. I'm like, obviously, I like him. I'm like, there you go. Keep going.
Not only that, like something that I think is good about this, doing an hour, because I don't expect anybody to listen to me talk for an hour. So it's just like slicing up like the high points. Like each episode now, I'm getting like 5 or 6 clips out of it, and like if I upload those, it's like, oh, this guy, like he's producing content I should check out overall.
Yeah,
and
we should definitely definitely. I'm sure we'll have some gold moments. I mean, we're only what 35 minutes in.
Yeah.
We have some more golden moments.
We've had a couple. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised if you're like completely not even thinking about it. Like I'll go back to the edit and I'm like, oh, Ahmed made a really good point.
Ooh, the
like
Facebook one,
like
the
stuff
MySpace Facebook one.
Yeah.
That one's silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes okay, cool. Look, I'm already in my head because of plus edibles.
Yeah, plus edibles.
Are you a person that likes to transport their brain to a la la land? Well, come on down and order yourself some plus gummies.
Watch this episode be like widely successful, and then like Plus Edible contacts me. He's like, "Hey, we'd like to use you. You want to be us to be your sponsor?"
I would love that, and then hopefully Plus sends me a bunch of edibles. Like, Justin Martindale, comedian.
Name sounds familiar.
Very funny comedian. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he plugged Scentbird, which I'm subscribed to Scentbird, and like I saw Scent before he used it. I was looking at Scentbird, and I was like, oh, this is a really cool monthly subscription. You've heard of Scentbird, right?
I've not.
Basically, they just send you for $15 a month. They just send you a vial of a month's supply of cologne.
Okay.
And it's really cool. It's really great. And you get to like choose different flavors and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I was doing that with Wen for a bit, the hair product.
I
think you've seen my bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That so it's similar. Yeah, similar like style of like that kind. And then Justin Martindale was on Joe Rogan, and he goes, "Yeah, I've been using Scentbird. I really like it. It's only $15 a month, and that's why I always smell good." And he was just like talking about how he liked Scentbird, and they really appreciated like his plug on Rogan's podcast. So they sent him like a gift basket of like all these different types of colognes and like full bottles and other different samples. Like they hooked him
because they probably got like 1 million sales off of like it's unfathomable. Did you watch the Comedy Store docuseries?
Yeah.
Okay, when I forget which comic said this, but Joe Rogan's podcast has a bigger audience now than the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson did back in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, and that's a mind-blowing.
There's more people, and more people with internet access. So yeah.
Yeah, people could listen to the Joe Rogan all over the world. Versus like someone like Johnny Carson, it's like you had to have TV.
Yeah, exactly. Now, like you could just watch Joe Rogan on your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because it's such it's amazing how technology has changed all of this, just like the game entirely.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yeah. No, all good.
I wasn't ignoring you. I was just checking an email real quick.
All good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that Comedy Store documentary that which by the way, you and I are in it.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's us signing our names for the open potluck.
Yes.
And isn't that crazy? I really hope people find that clip when you and I make it. Like I really hope it's like those memes. It would just be like a meme of like me like signing for the open mic, and then just like me at Madison Square Garden. I don't know. I'm just being hopeful.
No, that's not a bad way to think of things. Like what if 20 years from now we are doing more than okay, and people I think there are plenty of people signing up for that open mic who I think are going to go on to do incredible things. I
agree. There is what was I gonna say? There is a special like Dave Chappelle did Dave Chappelle's Block Party. It was on HBO years ago. I don't know if it's still on. But it was Dave Chappelle's Block Party.
Yeah.
And he had it was him. He had a bunch of musicians, and it was in DC, and it was a cool concert that he threw with all these musicians. And there was, I forgot which rapper. I think it was Nas or Mos Def or one of them.
Yeah.
It was him and Dave Chappelle and other people that were just rapping, and they were showing clips of the audience, right?
Yeah.
And I swear to God, this was just random. I was just watching Block Party. And then I realized, I paused it because there was an audience member up front who was vibing with all the music. It was fucking J. Cole, the rapper.
Wow.
And he's now one of the biggest rappers.
God, that's...
And you just see him in 2004 at a Block Party, just like vibing so hard with the music, like these artists that he really looked up to. And now he's J. Cole.
Yeah. You ever see the video of Aaron Paul, who played Jesse Pinkman on Breaking Bad?
Price is Right.
Like back when nobody, he was a working actor, but he was struggling, and then lo and behold, I heard he didn't know how he was gonna pay his rent that month when he got the part of Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah,
like that's how weird and unpredictable this business is.
That's the thing about actors that blow my mind, or not even just comedians. Like, there were so many times where comedians and actors, or just artists in general, where they're just like literally like on the line of like they're about to lose everything.
Yeah.
Like they become destitute, below destitute, you know? Yeah. And then they struck gold. You know? Yeah. I was reading, have you read Kevin Hart's book? I promise I'm not making this up. Blows my freaking mind, dude. The things that he was just like, the amount of credit card debt this dude put himself through.
Dude, Will Smith.
It's insane. It blows my mind. I mean, for me, it was like after like 7 months of like just losing my money, my credit card balance was like my savings was just like just things were just not going well. I was just driving for Postmates, trying so hard to pay rent by delivering, and I was like, this is not gonna work. Immediately got an accounting job, and I was like, wait a minute, I could do this. Like, I could work as an accountant. I have a degree. What am I doing? Like, what am I trying to do? Like, trying to prove myself? It's like, no, you can work as an accountant and then be a comedian at night. Like, it's
dude,
easy.
That's ideal for me. I would like a 9-to-5, an adult job, and do comedy at night, dating, and just like all like that's like there's a trifecta there of things that I think I could accomplish, and particularly now with now that auditioning has gone more virtual, online, like self tapes like that.
Yeah,
like you don't need to have your day wide open in order to pursue acting work.
Exactly. I mean, the most important thing that I think most artists should just remember is like, it's like, dude, like, yes, comedy is important, but also like, hey man, your life's important too. You know, take care of it. Like you should have a job. You should have responsibilities. And the more you live life in general, the more inspiration you have for your art, for your comic life. Because there's so many times where,
it backs up your point of view.
Exactly. And there's so many times, and it makes you more as a person, makes you more relatable as a human being.
Well-rounded.
You have so many, next thing you know, you're just going to be another comic that just has jokes about being a comic.
Yeah.
Or TV and movies that he's watched or something. It's like, no, like my best jokes are things that happen. I mean, you know, you've seen my stand-up. It's like, yeah, I have my identity stuff when I get out of the way, but my best material is things that I lived through, you know what I mean? Or things that I've gone through. Like right now, one of my best jokes is my breakup and how I've been processing my breakup, or how I've been processing, you know, random memories as a kid, like that I really went through. Like what
stuff you're emotionally invested in.
Yeah, that people are invested in, because that's my favorite thing about comedy. Is my favorite is when I get this compliment, when they go, I'm not a Yemeni American Muslim. They go, I'm not you, but I am you. They go, like, that's when I had a compliment. They go, okay. but I connect with you so well. That's what the South African girl told me after the improv. It was the best comment. She goes, I know I'm not you, but I am you. It's like, she goes, like, I connect with you so personally. And I was like, that's what I'm going for. Even though I was talking about, my mom, or like, me, as like right now I have this bit about how everyone was we were all getting our driver's license in Texas. Like, you get your license at like 16, 17. Very young. It's pretty great. And everyone was getting their first cars. All of my Palestinians and Indian friends, all my Palestinian Indian friends were getting like really nice cars. And my parents, they handed me down their old 2007 Honda Odyssey minivan, white.
Okay. Driving the kids to soccer practice.
And I talk about how I should have been grateful, because I really should have been grateful. Like, now I drive a Prius and I love it, but because I saw my friends like having nice cars, I was like, I want a nice car,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like, people can connect to it, but people can connect to jealousy. People can connect to being young and ungrateful for the things you have. So I'm trying to think, what are different ways of like, let me first like get them here, and then I'll get them to belly laugh, Yeah. Because the best way to belly laugh is through the heart. You know what I mean? It's like anatomy. You gotta,
yeah.
You gotta hit them here, connect, belly laugh right there.
Okay.
That's the way I see it. It's fucking connect. Sorry, like, you know what I mean? I was going somewhere with this idea, but you know what I mean? Like, you really like put a thought, connect with them here, belly laugh. Oh,
to engage with them emotionally.
Engage. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. This word slip up was brought to you by Plus Gummies. If you want to fuck up multiple times during a podcast, go ahead and get yourself a nice 3.5 milligram cucumber lime. Thank you so much.
I know I will. No, but
Thanks.
the honest truth, going back to what you were saying, ideally, in a perfect scenario, I would not be talking about comedy on this podcast ever, because it is totally uninteresting to people who haven't lived it. And so one of the reasons I enjoy talking to you is that we have like heart-to-hearts that are not related. Like, you have an identity outside of this. You have a work life. You have your set of stakes, stuff that make you tick.
Dude, I still, like, during the pandemic, like, I was thinking, I go, wait a minute, like, life, like, you got to think of it was not Meyer, it was the hierarchy of needs. Who said it?
Hierarchy of needs.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's what it was. And here, I'll pull it up right now. Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah.
But in the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is psychological needs. Physiological needs. Food, water, warmth, shelter.
Yeah,
right?
The basics.
Which some comics at its bare minimum, right? And then safety needs, belongingness, and love needs.
Yeah.
Like intimate relationships, friends. Like, have friends outside of comedy. That's a big deal.
Oh, God, yeah. And that's something I've taken for granted so much in the past. Like,
they need prestige, feeling of accomplishment, and then self-actualization, right? I want to say esteem and self-actualization, they both go with comedy. But all the other bottom parts, like make sure you have that strong foundation of the pyramid. For comics, it was like this. Like, all they had was comedy.
Yeah.
As soon as the pandemic hit, they become destitute. That was the thing with the pandemic. It was take away comedy. Who are you? Right?
Yeah.
Comedy was taken away from me. Okay, I was still an accountant with a roommate. I was a 20 when the pandemic hit. I was 26. So I was when the pandemic hit. I was a 26-year-old dude with a roommate at work as an accountant.
Yeah.
Like, so I still had that identity, and I played video games. And when I was working as an accountant, I called friends. Remember, I called you. Yeah, I called people I was just thinking about. I was like, hey, how's it going? Making sure everybody was fine.
I found, for me in 2019 when I did over 1,000 sets, 1,021, but who's counting? But I feel like very quickly that like around June, like I felt like that was my entire identity, and almost none of the material I was doing then was like I don't do any of that material really now. Like the crush bit was the only bit that I had that was based off of any human emotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, and I'm not trying to like downplay your other bits, but that's one of the best bits. The crush bit that used to crush all the time.
Hey.
No, but it did. Like everyone loved it. Like the Hollywood Improv was like so excited for the crush bit.
Dude, they were excited for the wrong
That's
reasons.
what got Rita to call your name.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, it's like it's because you got everybody here. You connected them with him here because everyone has a crush that doesn't like him back. That just happened to me earlier this week.
No, that wasn't what the bit was about. It was having a crush on someone who you don't like. I have a crush on a comedian
don't like. Yeah, as a person.
who's the
Yeah,
worst.
she's a terrible person.
Yeah, she's not that terrible.
I totally messed up your bit, but all I know is I apologize, and I will do better. And
but it was just like that bit was like the one thing that I had that was based off of any real human emotion. Like I don't even remember. I was doing it was like the Hormel chili bit. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh, I definitely do. I definitely remember the chili bit.
Yeah, about like being in an earthquake. Yes, it was July 4th of 2019. That's when we had the earthquake. I went to the store to get supplies, and all I left with was Hormel chili.
Yeah,
that was
that's
the
right.
general
The
basis.
Earthquake. Oh yeah. Damn, that's
didn't we go to a barbecue that day, like right afterwards?
July 4th. Yeah, we went to Bear's house.
That's right. We were at Bear's house. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was that because I know before that I went to.
Have you been to? Sorry for interrupting. Have you been to Cole, Mike, and Spence's house?
Yeah, once. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's okay.
I thought about living in a house with roommates, but then I was like, no, I like living in an apartment. What I like about living in an apartment is when things don't work, it's you just call maintenance and they come fix it.
That's true. Me, like I have like a leaky, like it's not terribly leaky, but it's enough that I have some concern. And if it wasn't the pandemic, I would call my landlord, but I'm afraid to have anybody in here right now.
Yeah, and honestly, I think about it, I'm like, I think I'm too old to be. No, because I'm 27. I have a roommate right now, but like I feel like just for me, I just want one roommate.
Yeah.
I don't want multiple roommates in a house. If I'm gonna live in a house, I'd either live by myself there or maybe just one roommate.
If I lived with 2 or 3 like-minded comics, like the chemistry would have to be good. I think generally clean. Not that my apartment is that clean right now, but just like I don't know. Like I also ideally the dream as far as if this podcast builds an audience, I would really like to have a garage that I could deck out into a really nice podcast studio. And if I have the audience, this is LA, like the music scene here. There's so many people. I would love to.
So many creators. There's so many creators in LA and
TV writers. Like
one of the main reasons why I moved to LA because I wanted to be around other creators. I wanted to be other people who were just in it, you know?
Yeah.
Like who are there like, oh, I'm here to like meet other people and collaborate and like do fun shit, you know?
Which, you don't realize how difficult it is. Like, because there's just so many people who are all talk, but they don't exactly do. Like, a lot of, like.
All the time. All the time.
I remember I almost moved in with this woman who, she was the lead in a Broadway show, and she moved here to pursue acting, and I don't think the chemistry would have been good between us, so it was one of those things. But she said you could either be like you could either actually go all in or you could be one of those wannabes who hang out on the Sunset Strip. And it's like that was the last time I've ever heard that someone use the term wannabe. And this is back in 2015.
Yeah.
But she's not wrong. Like the city is like littered. Another person, I think it was Sam Harder who said this, that LA is filled with like the laziest sober people and the most
laziness silver spoon people.
Sober people.
Oh,
and
sober
like
people.
the stoners, they're the one who like put in the work.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's just a lot of everybody there here. Like you have people who just won't do work. I mean, we've all heard these stories. We've all heard of horror LA stories of just like the industry and just like people just trying to like take credit for others and just backstabbing and all that stuff, which is why I love working as an accountant, how everything is just, everything's balanced. I work from home. I have a monitor. I'm doing my thing. I'm getting my paycheck.
Yeah.
And everything is binary. It's, there is some wishy-washy stuff here, whatever. But for the most part, is as soon as I get off work, I can put more energy into comedy in the art. I'm just talking about in the art form.
Yeah.
But when I think of the business side of comedy, I get stressed out. And I get grateful of being an accountant. I'm like, thank God I have this for my living, So I could just, when I think of comedy, I just focus on the material. I just focus on the good jokes and the good things and all that stuff. I just focus on the art because when comedy turns into a way of living and I become very shy, it's going to become less fun.
Oh, yeah. And let me ask you this, because this is a very hard city. Like Zach Braff recently said on Marin that Los Angeles is not for the faint of heart. And I don't think he's wrong. Has there ever been a time where either you were showcasing for someone, whether it be a booker or an agent, a manager, and they said no in a very blunt way? Yeah, I've
been in so many audition rooms where they were just like, yeah, we're not interested.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy-wise, not yet. I haven't really...
Okay.
I haven't really got smacked in the face yet with that. Yeah. Which I'm sure is going to happen. Maybe one day they're like, hey, Ahmed, can you come in and audition or do stand-up? And then I'm at a club and then I bomb in front of a really big producer or something.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Because it's something I'm never going to forget. I was showcasing for a possible manager in the Valley, which that's already a red flag. But it was just like he found my profile on LA Casting, and I went in and I saw the sides. And I was doing the sides wrong, and he immediately, it was very aggressive, yelling at me, and he started asking if I had memory problems, and I was like, whoa. But it wasn't one of those, it was like, all right, this is not going to be a good fit, but it also turned me off from wanting to showcase for anybody for a while, which I think is the wrong reflex to have, because not everybody's going to realize
it. Taking acting classes?
Not recently. Not since the pandemic. I don't know. Before the last acting class.
Before the pandemic, were you taking acting classes?
Yes, I was. I was with a guy by the name of John Lacey, who I think was absolutely great.
From Groundlings.
Well, I don't think he was a Groundlings guy.
No, he wasn't a Groundlings, but Groundlings suggested it to you, right? I've heard of that name, John Lacey.
My friend John Meesey suggested it to me. Yeah, Groundlings, they suggested Playhouse West to me, which I already did, and I just didn't think it was that great of a fit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard of, yeah. I mean, one thing I will admit is I did some acting stuff before my accounting job. Yeah. I did a few, I did some cool music videos.
Okay, good for you.
And I did some pretty, I was on Backstage and I did a lot of stuff from there.
All right.
But
Did you ever get to the commercial level?
Like I booked a couple commercials here and there and a couple photo shoots, and I was going to auditions hardcore. I am being bad about doing auditions though, because my agent, I still have an agent, and she's been putting me out there on, and I've been getting requested for auditions, but I haven't been submitting, and I feel bad now. But I need to I need to really start hitting it hard again.
Yeah, it's yeah, they got bills
actually,
to pay too.
my girl last summer during Ramadan, actually, my girlfriend and I, my girlfriend at the time, we booked a commercial for Honey. It was cool, and we got fat checks from that.
Right on. Wait, you got to be in a commercial with your girlfriend?
Yeah, I've never seen it. Never saw it.
I like stories like that. Like one of my favorite, Charlie Day and his now wife. It was like one of their first co-star roles, like 5 Lines and Under. With I think it might have been technically been a guest star. I think it was more than 5 lines. But
Reno 911.
Yes, Reno 911.
I've been watching that show. Yeah, on HBO. It's so funny.
I haven't watched it in years. I read Thomas Lennon's book.
I have that book in my queue. I have that in my wish list on Amazon. I need to buy that.
It's a fairly easy read, and I find that Thomas Lennon and his co-writer, I forget his name off the top of my head, but
something
or other. I wish I had a producer to pull this up, but I find that like they don't take themselves too seriously, and I think it's a good entry level book if you really want to get like a little bit of an understanding of the business side of screenwriting.
I'll look into it, yeah. Because even though I don't see myself as a writer, I'm not a good screenwriter. I could write sketch. I like sketch comedy. I like writing quick things. I like writing sketches for like, I like sketch comedy. Like I'll write short stuff. But a full movie or a TV, gosh, that's tough.
Yeah. It's tough for me. Like I was, me and Jimmy Calloway, we're in the middle of co-writing a pilot, and like to get like notes on like what's wrong, what needs to be done, how do we make these characters, how do we get an audience to give a about essentially an ensemble cast, that's such a difficult, because I consider myself a half decent storyteller, but as far as screenwriting goes, like there are just elements to it that it just takes years and years to master.
Yeah,
dude, people spend upwards of like more than 20 grand, however much it is to go to film school to become like master storytellers. Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of respect for film. I really do. And I love screenwriting. Like, hopefully, like, my goal, like, hence why I've leaned a lot more on accounting is, like, obviously financial reasons, but also, like, hopefully when I become a better and more established stand-up comedian, I could use that as an avenue to like lean. So it's like, okay, I'm an established comedian now. Okay, now I could use that to do some acting stuff. Oh, maybe do some writing stuff. Maybe challenge myself to do writing stuff, but mainly, or produce things, or do more, or audition for like better TV roles. Maybe you know what I mean.
Jenna Fisher.
But for now, it's like right now, my life for the next 3 years until I'm 30.
Okay.
Accounting by day, comedian by night.
Yeah, it's not a bad life to have. That's a better. But yeah,
it's something.
Jenna Fisher.
Doing social media stuff. So.
Did you ever read Jenna Fisher's book, The Survival Guide for Actors, or The Survival Guide for Working Actors?
No.
Okay, because she does talk about that. Is that she would have like temp jobs, like working in an office as a receptionist. And she credits that for getting her ready for the role of Pam Beesly on The Office.
That's awesome. I had no idea. I'm like proud of her. Wow, that's actually really cool. I had no idea she was an actual. I mean, To be fair, I was a temp too before this job. I was like a glorified temp. I was doing different jobs.
Yeah.
And I was still doing auditions during that time, but
Yeah, because I
don't know.
do.
I feel like the way I'm very grateful. I mean, we're about to end this podcast, so I think this is a good way to like end this pod.
I always try to do this seamlessly, but it never happens. But go on.
Are we an hour in?
Yeah, an hour and 5, but yeah.
Perfect. I wanted to end it on, or we could close it on this. Like, I'm very grateful for what I ended up in now, especially what happened. Like we're almost going to hit a year into this pandemic, right?
March 11th.
Yes. March 11th. Exactly. And I don't know, because there's so many people that lost their jobs. It ruined their lives dramatically,
Yeah.
And the fact that I was able to get a job, or I was able to be placed for a company right before the pandemic hit, like right before lockdown started, I got assigned at a new company, at this new job on a Monday,
Wow.
like March 11th. And then I started March 14th.
Got lucky you.
I got super lucky, and I was there for 6 months. By the time I got placed to this other company, and then hence that company hired me as their full-time accountant.
God,
I got lucky. I'm very grateful,
Yeah. Before we wrap, something I'm not like. On the last episode, I was recounting March 11th with Josh Floorhog, just the trajectory of events that occurred that day. And one of the earliest memories, one of the earliest moments that I could recount was being at Owino Vino a couple hours before.
It's Eno Vino.
It's Eno Vino?
That's what I heard.
Okay. Eno Vino. This changes. You just... all right.
I think so. Or Wino Vino.
Yeah, well, Eno Vino. We'll go with Eno Vino. It's excellent wine bar on Glendale Boulevard in Atwater Village. Can't recommend it enough. Nice people who work there and who run the place.
Yeah.
But so we were at Eno Vino, and there was before the mic started, this is maybe 2 hours before it was declared a pandemic, before Tom Hanks came out and said he had COVID, before the NBA canceled the season.
Okay. Keep going.
And there was a comic who was there, and she was just tense because she lost thousands and thousands of dollars worth of catering work. That's how busy she was at the time in spring.
Wait, we know that person. That's the catering?
Probably.
Yeah, we both know. We'll say her name after.
Yeah, you had a name that you wanted to send me, someone who was in Texas. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll text you her name right away, I guess.
Yeah, I think we were thinking about the same person. But yeah, keep going.
Okay. But it's just I look at that, and I'm grateful that for me, even though I'm struggling looking for work, which, by the way, thank you for recommending the online courses at Learn at Forbes. I now know how to do pivot tables and run VLOOKUPs.
And feel it's on your resume. And
it is.
I'm telling you, it's a good idea.
And I feel like I'm a more boring person because of you, but I will get work that will make me more well-rounded, and that is what's important.
Exactly, dude.
I'll be able to maintain some sort of sense of financial independence, which
Ian,
but I'm still able to eat. I'm still able to eat for now. I'm still able to have a roof over my head. Mm-hmm. But it's just I'm grateful. I look at someone who's in that position, lost all that work, and it's just whoa. This.
Oh, the restaurant industry, catering, and all that. God.
Oh yeah. 70% of restaurants in LA, I heard, closed.
70?
Yeah.
Last time I read it was 40.
How long ago?
That was in the summer. That was almost a year ago. Oh my God. 70?
Fucking Gavin Newsom. No, but
Oh my God.
They could have kept the restaurants reopened outside.
Gavin Newsom, who gets up, closes all the wine vineyards
except his
own.
Yeah.
You see him dining inside, no mask, eating with other rich people. This fucking week, Robinhood, they closed buying stocks from GameStop and AMC so that the hedge funds can win more money and they could win. They literally limited it.
Like there's going to be riots at some point. Like it's
we are this close to just to a French Revolution because that's what happened. The French Revolution and all the other big empires was the middle class just kept closing. When there's a strong middle class, there's a strong country. But the middle class just kept going like this.
Yeah,
and then it's just gonna pop.
And particularly with guys like Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg.
It's like this, basically. There's the rich just keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer, and everyone's just so fed up.
Yeah, like Jeff Bezos. Dude, a guy like Mark Zuckerberg, all those people, they are worth $100 billion. That is 1,000 mil. Is it 1,000 or 10,000 millions? I'm not.
1,000 million.
That's still like an obscene amount of money from selling our data, for manipulating the way we think, for like pitting us against each other. Like, So is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, right. Just follow me on social media. I'm Ahmed from Dallas. I mainly use Instagram, TikTok, and unfortunately Twitter sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, that's another one. Jack Dorsey. Like I feel like him banning Trump, I feel like was him pretending to be the hero because Twitter was profiting so much. Yeah, it's insane.
It's so hypocritical. It's like, oh, you cancel his account now?
Yeah.
Not stand back and stand by. Not all the white. Not all all of that. You let it go. You knew how much attention it was getting.
Yeah, and he was just worth an obscene amount of money, and like I look at it as virtue signaling in its most extreme form, pretending to be the hero. And
dumb. Whatever.
This is such a tense way to end a podcast episode.
You know what? I started this podcast such in a good mood. Now I'm just like fed up with in politics.
I feel like we should have came into the podcast with this energy, because this part's definitely going to be a clip. It's going to be like one of the highlights.
No, but let's just focus on the positivity of this podcast. Anyways, dude, I got to get back into work stuff.
I'll see you Saturday.
Thank you so much for having me. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Rate and subscribe.